Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Emma D, thank you so much for being first. Listen, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong thing, isn't it? Try that again. Okay. You don't bring me flowers. You don't sing me love songs. You hardly talk to me anymore when you come through the door at the end of the day. I remember when. Okay. Um, I am bringing the slides up. Used to say you love me. Used to say you. I forgot the words to the song. Okay, there we go. I learned how to love and I learned how to cry. Okay. You don't bring me flowers. Barbara Streisand and what's his name? Was that Neil Diamond? Okay. Um, well, somebody's going through a midlife crisis. Somebody's going through a midlife crisis. Either they're going through the midlife crisis or they're going through the change. Maybe they're changing because of the midlife crisis, but something is wrong, right? I think Whitley said it best on A Different World when she said, "Dear God, still waters run deep." And I'm looking at Kate and I'm like, "Yep, still waters run deep. Still waters run deep. Yes, they do. Whoa, yeah. Don't trouble the waters. Leave it alone. Why don't you? Why don't you? Let it be. Let it be, Kate. Let it be, Kate. Leave the waters alone. Still waters run deep. I'll grab some dye and give blonde a try. I'll grab some dye and give blonde a try. I'll grab some dye. Oh my goodness. And give blondes a try. All right. Lydia Washington, her face doesn't do anything for her face. So it stands to reason that her hair is not doing anything for her face. Her face isn't doing anything for her face. Her clothes ain't doing nothing for her face. That pitiful hat she wore today ain't doing nothing for her face. I mean, everything about her today, I started thinking of every movie line, every catchphrase, like that hat. What was that they said in Color Purple? I haven't seen a hat like that since my mama's funeral. uh anyway, it is the 25th, at least in the central time zone, it is the 25th. So we got you know what? Probably by midnight tonight, we'll be able to watch. Yeah, midnight tonight. Yes. Midnight at the Netflix. Yes, midnight at Netflix. Okay. And remember, season 2, Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Season 2. So save the date. Just turn it on at midnight. I am probably gonna binge watch it. Yeah, and if I don't finish it tomorrow night, then I'll or tomorrow morning, then I will just as soon as I wake up, I'll finish watching it. I'm looking forward to it. Save the date. Save the date. Okay. One of the squatties posted this, and I absolutely adore it. So this is love. Ooh. Yes, that is love. That's what love looks like. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to know what love is. I want to feel what love is. And I know you can show me. Yes, that is what they call love. All right. Speaking of love, look who loves the rosé, the as ever rosé. It is the notorious JTB sitting down pouring some rosé, some of that California Napa Valley rosé. Legs, thanks for joining us. Hi, fam. I am binge watching too. Love y'all. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the super chat. Yep, I cannot wait. And I got a bottle of rose chilled. I got some good cheese, some good strong cheese to balance it out. Yeah, I'm all set. The one thing that is a guilty pleasure of mine are those peanut butter pretzels. I promise you, before the first season, I wasn't thinking about no peanut butter pretzels, but I saw them. I was in the store. I said, well, let me try them. I am like at least, oh, if I had to figure out what percentage of my DNA is now peanut butter pretzels with that sea salt, I just say a lot. I love those peanut butter pretzels. I feel sorry for anyone who's allergic to peanuts, um, or any kind of nuts. I feel sorry for anyone who's allergic because peanuts, hazelnuts, you name them, pecans, all good stuff. Um, so, although I thought I heard somewhere that a peanut is not actually a nut. And then cashews, gosh, those are so weird. They grow outside of the shell. Yeah, they look really weird. If you've ever seen a cashew before it's harvested, it's like, what is that? But for some reason, it reminds me of Jimmy Durante. Think, I think, think. They remind me of Jimmy Durante. Think about it. You look at a cashew before it's harvested, and all I see is Jimmy Durante. Okay. Thank you again, Lex, for the super chat. Now, this spot of bother. Kate Middleton struggling behind closed doors. Prince William's wife unofficially stepped back from duties after rough return to royal life following cancer battle or precancerous cells, whichever way the wind is blowing that week. Yes, she has been struggling, they say, struggling to find a 24-piece dining room set, right? 24-seat dining room set, struggling to find a new home, struggling to figure out what are her parents going to do since they're running out of money. struggling with the embarrassment of her brother and his dogs, struggling of the embarrassment, of course, of her uncle. That well, he's just weird. That's always been a struggle. She has a lot of struggles going on, struggling to put the kids in the right school. Since her husband says no, I want them to go to whatever school. What was it, Eton or whatever? And she wants to send the kids someplace else. You know what? I'm going to have to side with William with this one because I would have to side with William because I've seen the results of her schooling, and I found her schooling to be wanting, um, lacking in certain things. I mean, all those years of her school, and this is what you get.
Well, obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things, it is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. We've seen the results of the academic choices that Carol Middleton has made. And I tell you what, why don't we just defer to William this time? As much as I hate to do it, I feel a little more, because I want the best for those kids. Y'all know that. I'd feel better if we if we defer to the old Windsor way. Yeah. Yeah, might as well give the kids the best head start possible, right? The best possible head start. Going forward and
to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things.
Yes, if we're gonna go forward in things, I think we better let William decide this one. Okay. I am going to side with William as much as it pains me to do it because, I love those children as I love all children. I just want the best for them. And if that means, going to a school where they'll get the best possible head start in this world, then they won't have to sit there and wonder about.
Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things.
Yeah, they won't have to worry about going forward and things. But woo! Lex says, no offense, but what is the point of a UK undergraduate degree? Is it to make connections or land a husband? Doesn't seem that Kate learned anything or will. I feel that it is just to say they went. Yes. Yes. I'm going to agree with that, Legs, because these so-called public schools, well, and you know what, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the public schools that they speak of are actually private schools, schools that were very restrictive and exclusive, that they opened up to a wider group. And so they still, and so after that, they called it public school because in a way they kind of went public, right? But they're still pretty restrictive and exclusive, right? And then, of course, everyone else goes to the, I guess, government schools or something like that. Please explain that to me. Let me see. Why don't I just look it up myself? Why don't I just do that? Because I'm always confused about that. What do the British mean by public school? In the UK, public school refers to an independent, free-paying school, which is the opposite of what the term means in the United States. where it refers to a taxpayer-funded schools. The term is historical and originates from the time when these institutions were the first to serve the public with unrestricted open access for a fee, rather than being exclusive private tutors or local endowments. The term has been criticized as paradoxical, as these arguably are the most exclusive. See what I mean? They're exclusive and restrictive, not the most open schools, which are now often called independent schools. So when they say public school, that definitely means private. That means exclusive and restrictive. So, and it is a bit of a paradox to say one thing and it really means something else. But yeah, I always thought that that was kind of strange that they say it like that. But, you know, what you want to do. Okay. What you want to do. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Public means private in the UK. Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that. It's the stupid aristocratic system where what you learn isn't really important. Now, legs, I have to take exception to that. Learning how to keep a conversation going about dogs, ponies, and the weather is very important. And when all else fails, you just say, "Have you come far? Have you come far?" But dogs, ponies, and the weather is very, very important. Nations have moved policies. Nations have gone to war over dogs and ponies and the weather. So I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think the skill of talking about dogs and ponies and the weather, and on occasion, the distance of travel, is the best way to have one of those garden parties at Buckingham Palace, right? So, just my opinion, just my opinion. I am so shady today. I don't know what happened. I just woke up on the wrong side of shady. I think it was that hair that triggered me, y'all. Oh, Mike Tender went to a state school that is the hardest to get into. All right. Oh, God. Journalists and the judiciary, so nothing changes at the top. You know, I think how many prime ministers went to Eton? Quite a few of them, right? Gordon Brown, pretty much all of them, right? They all seem to have gone to Eton. So it is where they train a lot of heads of state. You know, there are foreign dignitaries that put their children through those schools. There are sometimes the sons and daughters of people from the Commonwealth. A lot of future dictators have come from Eton College, right? How many dictators have graduated from Eton? Well, let me see. Eton has produced an exceptional number of prominent political figures. You guys, I'm testing my knowledge today. I think I'm doing pretty good today. Prime ministers, monarchs, and other world leaders. Former students have gone on to lead other countries, such as former Thai Prime Minister Abhisit Vajiji, Idi Amin joined the British colonial army as an assistant cook and rose through the ranks. Oh, no, it says here, by contrast, many modern dictators and authoritarian leaders have different educational histories. Okay, like Idi Amin, Francois Papadoc Duvalier, Nikolai Ceausescu, Francisco Franco, and Jorge Rafael Videla of Argentina. Graduated from a national military college. Okay. So, not exactly the list I was thinking of, but by contrast, many modern dictators. Okay. Oh, medical school too. Some dictators went to medical school. But yeah, Boris Johnson, David Cameron, 20 prime ministers, you guys. 20 British prime ministers are alumni of Eton. So there you go. It really does train the next generation of leadership. And none of them have gone on to have found a huge multinational company whatsoever. So yeah, I agree with you. It seems like they're good for politics and they're good for the courts and not much else. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, William has his geography degree. You could easily pair it with socioeconomic factors and poverty, and he does nothing with it. Kate cobbled a degree to graduate in time. Yeah, Kate has an art history degree. Yeah, she has her master's, I think they said, in art history, which is amazes me. She was puzzled when she looked at that Fabergé egg and didn't seem to know what it was. Okay, so again, she's struggling behind closed doors. The truth says Meghan had a very serious mental health issue when she was part of the royal family. The royal family didn't care because they were trying to make her leave. Clearly, they had the capacity to allow her to have stepped down while she received treatment. The royal family is pure evil. So that is the contrast. Everybody is supposed to back off of Kate, who produces very little and does practically nothing for the country besides having children with her husband, right? Producing those children. Whereas someone who has great ability, like the Duchess of Sussex, um, what did they do? They didn't do anything. They just sent her back out there. And while she was doing her duty, they were leaking and briefing like crazy. They had their most notorious royal reporters go after her, nitpicking and not only was that detrimental to Meghan, but consider what that was doing to her husband. Consider what that was doing to her mother. Consider what that was doing to all of her fans and people who have worked with her and her other family members that care about her. Consider what that was doing to them. The anguish, the helpless feeling of seeing Meghan being dragged through the press. She just couldn't seem to do anything right. It's one thing to say, oh, those people don't know me, but it is a very jarring feeling when your name is attached to the worst possible things. I had a situation one time where my name was attached to something that I felt was unjust. And I promise you, um, those people saw a side of me that they were not expecting. They saw a side of me they were not expecting. I was outraged and humiliated by the use of my name in such a way. The implication that I don't care about the things I do or that I was acting irresponsibly. No, 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 no. I would not just sit back and take that. Now, of course, it was easier for me because I wasn't in the public like that. But for someone who is being monitored every step of the way, it is very, very painful. It can be very damaging. Um, and they just did not care. But they want everyone to protect Kate's dignity, to protect Kate's mental health. Everyone must rally around the English rose. It's like one of those horrible B-rated jungle movies where you have the blonde bombshell running through the rainforest, not a hair out of place, makeup superb, and everyone, the natives, Tarzan, everybody's trying to help her. Everybody's trying to lift her up and support her. And it doesn't matter how many people are eliminated along the way because her life seems to have more value than anything and anybody. And this is an excellent example of that. Kate has main character syndrome, which is why she doesn't like other women around. She does not tolerate other women. She has no girlfriends. She has no girlfriends. And if Kate's existence as the future queen means that you can't just have a lunch at a restaurant with your mom, which is exactly what they were trying to do to Meghan. They didn't want Meghan to just go anywhere, as though she was going to be the future queen. They wanted Meghan controlled in a tight space where they can monitor everything she says, everything she does, and then turn the press against her so that they can critique the most inane details. And she was supposed to be okay with that. Meghan said, I wasn't expecting it to be easy, but I did expect it to be fair. And I think about that all the time. I wasn't expecting it to be easy, but I did expect it to be fair. And I'm sure up until the wedding day, they made all kind of promises to Harry. This won't happen. That's not going to happen. We're going to watch this. We're going to take care of that. And then as soon as they went to the Oceania tour, not only had they not done it before that, but then it turned really ugly and nasty and bitter. And their job at this point is to gaslight everyone, especially Americans, into believing that it was her fault. They want to blame the victim. They want Meghan to go down in flames. Well, if she would have inspected the aircraft, that kind of thing, they'll find some kind of way to blame her. Whatever it is, they'll find some kind of way to blame her. Well, if only she had done this or done that. And you look at the coverage of Kate, especially in comparison to what it was before. And even at its worst for Kate, it was never as personal as her race. It was never as personal as accusing her of fueling cartels and such, right? It was never that personal. But for Meghan, there's no level that's too low. And that is why we're here. Bev says everything they use to vilify Meghan, they are using to glorify and excuse Kate, which is, of course, typical. Half in, half out is now such a normalized, understandable thing. But when Harry and Meghan tried, they were reviled and told they couldn't eat their cake and have it. And the truth retorts with, exactly, the hypocrisy is astounding, and everyone not willing to admit that is ill-informed or have chosen to be willfully ignorant for whatever their reasons. And so when you look at those panels that they have set up, panels that are supposed to be a royal report, and everyone knows the agenda of these podcasts is to find a new and exciting way to drag Meghan and sometimes Harry. And that's what it's turned into, to attack Meghan and sometimes Harry. I'm going to show you an example of that coming up. Let me see, where am I at with my slides? I'm going to show you a good example of what I'm speaking of right now. Well, that's coming up in a bit. Yeah, that's a bit of a way. So I better step on it if we're going to get out of here in an hour. Looking Kate. Now, I don't know what that means, looking Kate. Does that mean looking pleasant, looking gorgeous, looking bad, looking weird, looking strange? By the way, I told you that was a hideous hat she had on. Hideous. Someone has blonde ambitions. Someone has blonde ambitions. I mean, you look. That's all I can say is look. What is really going on? That is not the glare. That is her hair. Now, remember, it's Meghan who's trying to be Diana. Kate's trying to be everything but, right? Yeah, that is a bit brassy. That is very, very brassy. And it looks a mess. And no, she's not driving, you guys. Remember, the wheel is on the other side. As a matter of fact, William is on the other side. Although it is a bit of an optical illusion, but no, she is not driving. See there? So Kate's struggle behind closed doors was with the peroxide bottle. Then I got it. Yeah. So Kate's struggle behind closed doors was with the peroxide bottle. That's what the struggle was. Now on summer holiday number of 2025, number fill in the blank. I get that now. Fill in the blank. That's what you need to do, is just fill in the blank. I am going to put 8. I'm going to put 8. Yeah, I'm going to put 8 because I feel like there has been some travels that have been undisclosed to us. So I am going to put 8. What say you? I say this is they're coming off a holiday number 8. Well, actually, they are officially on holiday. You guys, those other things that they were doing, those were not holidays. The holidays for them is after what, Wimbledon, then usually Kate doesn't come back for months and months and months. So, yeah, not sure exactly when to consider them going on holiday, but I guess it's whenever you don't see them. Whenever you don't see them, that's the holiday. Oh, they're going to church. They're going to church. I'm sorry. Yes, that's where the hat is traveling to, is church. They were required, they were summoned, they were told in no uncertain terms to get your behind out the house and make sure people can see you so they can believe you. That's what the queen says. One must be seen to be believed. So, passenger princess, sun-kissed Kate debuts new lighter locks as Prince William drives family to church service in Balmoral. They're up in Balmoral. Yes, the annual trip to Balmoral. I do wonder if they're going to stay up there long. Maybe they're just going to make this appearance and then get the heck out of there. They probably have a jet somewhere fueled up and ready to take them to someplace very warm and very hot. I am sure that because they still got vacation time available, right? Pretty much whenever they choose. So, let me see. The Prince and Princess of Wales are seen driving their 3 children to Sunday church service in Balmoral. Yep, that's it. It's all hands on deck. There's George, Louis, deep in conversation as Louis looks up at his older brother during the car journey. Very sweet. Princess Kate was a picture of elegance wearing a black hat with an embellishment, a textured blazer, and a maroon blouse with subtle gold jewelry. Oh, did they say maroon? Is that what they said, maroon? Oh, maybe she's getting ready for With Love, Meghan. Yeah, maroon. Got it. Got it. Remember, there are no accidents. Nothing is by chance. Yeah, there you go. The Princess Royale was also driven to church service at Kathy Kirk, and Kirk, of course, means church. I think that's Gaelic for church, right? And was seen smiling in the car on the way there. You know why she's smiling? Because she's laughing at the fact that somehow they have shamed Will and Kate into coming up to the Balmoral to make an appearance. That's why she's smiling. She's laughing because somebody finally got to him. Was it all of the articles that seemed somewhat of a threat? I don't know, but something got to him. And so the rest of the family is pretty tickled about it. So if you want to know why the Princess Royale, Afro Annie, if you want to know why she's so tickled, it is because they made them get up off of that thing and do some work. Get up off of that thing. Yep, they had to get up off of that thing. Now, Prince and Princess of Wales join Balmoral church outing. Wales family join King and Queen for annual August getaway in Scotland. And I promise you, William is just thrilled to be there. I mean, who wouldn't want to be there with Godzilla, Charles, and the rest of the clan, family. I got to stop calling them clan. Plus, we all know that Will and Kate have their own separate housing up there. They don't have to stay in the castle, and they probably won't. So there's 3 reasons why the Welleses had to leave the house. Reason number 1, careful, William. I've always supported you, but now your behaviors left me cold and I'm not alone. Reason number 2, Prince William needs to man up. His new obsession suggests he has forgotten everything the late Queen stood for. This is why I fear for the future. And reason number 3, Prince William versus the press. When the monster you fed turns on you. Those are like at least 3 reasons why they're in Balmoral. They didn't have a choice. They did not have a choice. Kate Middleton's calmly determined as she and Prince William go their separate ways in 2025. Well, this is as pointed as it gets. There is a prediction from at least this publication or this online magazine that they are on the skids, that their relationship is on the skids. Kate Middleton remains calmly determined as she and Prince William go their own ways professionally in 2025. Are the royal couple headed for a split similar to that of his brother, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan Sussex? Damn it, it's Sussex. See how they pull you in with that? Now, we all know what they're saying in between the lines. Prince William and Kate Middleton will take separate paths in 2025. I don't see what difference it makes. They don't work anyway. What difference does it make? They made the announcement 2 years ago that they were doing things separately. This is not new. So what are you really telling us? That they're going their separate ways. What are you really telling us? Yeah. The look directly into the camera, I don't think that was an accident. Yep, a smirking assassin. I don't think that was an accident. Definitely not by chance. Kate Middleton continues to take her time to return to the public eye. Following a cancer diagnosis in 2024, or precancerous cells, as she recovered, the Princess of Wales only took a handful of royal duties last year. This decision left William to face the bulk of the couple's scheduled engagements alone. Whatever he took, I don't think he was there representing the both of them. William is the president of BAFTA. Kate usually goes to the BAFTA awards with him. What did they do? They took another vacation. I mean, I'm trying to think of what it is that William has done that would have involved the two of them that's any different from the years past. I cannot think of anything. The only thing I could think of is this article is trying to tell us something without telling us something. That's what I'm thinking of. So next time, just say what you mean and mean what you say. Now, the princess appears to be having a blonde moment. Are they calling her stupid? And we can't expect the rest of the world to follow suit. Does that mean that only Kate has baby brain and the rest of us are okay? What are they trying to say? The evolution of the Princess of Wales' regal blondette hair. Get it? Brunette, blondette. It is an evolution from that dark hair that she was so famous for. And now it's kind of like a muskrat brown. It's like muskrat love. Yeah. Muskrat love. I think that's the color. I think they call it muskrat love. I mean, it's like when you look at it, the lyrics are right there. Muskrat, muskrat, candlelight, doing the town and doing it right in the evening is pretty pleasing. Muskrat Susie, Muskrat Sam, Muskrat Willie. Doing the jitterbug at the muskrat land. And they shimmies. Sam's so skinny. No, Willie's so skinny. Oh, man. Yes, muskrat. That unusual hair color. Muskrat color. Yeah, that's it. That really is it. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you because I know some of y'all don't believe me. So I will show you. I will prove what I say is true and accurate. Okay. Ready for it? Here goes. Here goes. I mean, I don't like being right, but I am going to celebrate it this one time. Okay, here it comes. See what I mean? See what I mean? How many muskrats have lost their life so that Kate might have that hair color? The senseless violence. Peroxide Princess. The Daily Mail actually referred to Kate Middleton as the Peroxide Princess. Sun-kissed Kate debuts new lighter locks as Prince William drives family to church service on annual Scotland vacation. They said Peroxide Princess, and then eventually they replaced it. You know, they changed these a lot. And I imagine they must have gotten a phone call from Kensington Palace with a very excited courtier. Take it down! Take it down! I said, take it down! And so they changed it. They changed it. Now, some time ago, one of the tabloids said, we wanted to see Kate Middleton with a blonde bob, so we made it happen. OMG. You know what, guys? I think this hairstyle suits her. I really think that it suits her. Someone said some time ago, actually, I've heard a couple of royalists say she needs to cut her hair. It is too long. She needs to cut her hair. It is too long. I think that is an absolutely stunning look for her. Now, there will be people that start making those, terrible comparisons, but it looks good on her. It looks very good. It makes her look younger, not older. The long dark hair makes her look older as far as I'm concerned, which is why she wants to go blonde is to try to soften up her appearance. The blonde hair has a nice way of framing the face where it takes a few years off your face. Clearly, that is what she's attempting. I say go shorter and go blonder. Why not? Lighter hair makes her seem washed out and thank you, Legs. I tend to think that the shorter hair, um, well, maybe she could have it dark and short. Yeah, maybe she could have it dark and short. But in those photos in the vehicle, she looks very washed out. It's not good for her complexion. It does not suit her complexion. As Lydia said earlier, it's not really her color. Mm-hmm. So they're adding the Sussexes in the mix to solidify what they are attempting to say without being too obvious. I agree with that. Did you see Sharon O with blonde hair? Enough said. Sharon Osbourne, I don't recall seeing her with blonde hair. I've only ever seen her rocking that strawberry color or red or whatever she's been wearing, that kind of, which I think looks good on her, but I've never seen her as a blonde. Thank you so much for the super chat. Now, no wonder the stylist Natasha Archer ran away, according to Zandy Sussex. Natasha Archer saw what was coming and wanted no parts of it, lest she find it difficult to find employment in the future. She ran for the hills. She's like, nope. She took a look at Kate and was like, nope. I cannot work with that. Sorry, love. Love, sorry, but I can't work with that. So she left with her dignity intact, which is more than I could say for Kate. But she got the you know what out of there. Okay. Blonde Sharon Osbourne. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Now, did I ever see her with the white hair? But I'm going to put those up for everyone to see. I'm going to put those up. Give me just a second. I'm so used to her with the red. I'm not sure about this one. I mean, it doesn't look bad on her. I don't hate it. Let me see here. There we go. Yeah, I don't hate it. Let me see. I think the hairstyle is definitely good. That little bob is good for her. And the different colors, yeah, I think she should stop using that red, that whatever that color is. I think she should stop using that. My goodness, it's like she's a whole nother person. Yeah. But it takes her age up and down and up and down. Yeah, it kind of ages her a bit, I think. Yeah, I will say that it ages her. Wow, I didn't know she had so many hairstyles. Oh, would you say oh, okay. Okay, I got to share this with you guys. I got to share this one with you. I got to share it. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let me share this one with you. I can buy myself peroxide, pour it on my hair. I hope it doesn't scare Charlotte. Little Louis will stare. Lord have mercy. Well, and in the meantime, she's tuning up her face this way and that way. But there you go. Sharon's signature red pixie, oh, they call it a pixie, huh? Is bold, but I'd love to soften her look while keeping edge, her edge. Imagine a creamy, uh, what is that? Something blonde to instantly lift her complexion and add light around her face, paired with soft, elegant waves that move and frame her features beautifully. Well, if you insist. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Oh well. So there you go. That's what I just saw it, and let me see here. Okay, let's get back over here. But my goodness, it's strange how that, you see what I'm seeing there? Let me see. Blonde makes her see the arc of the make her is it make her seem the ark of the covenant? Woo! Okay, thank you so much, Legs. The ark of the covenant. uh and of course, one of the reasons why things have gone so terribly wrong, Duchess Sophie spotted leaving Kate Middleton's hairdresser with new look ahead of coronation. Well, I thought about that as I was looking at Kate's hair. I was like, now who tore that woman's hair up this time? And I recalled that time I saw Sophie leaving out of Kate Middleton's hairdresser. You see there? Somebody's got it in for the royal family. I would even wonder if this was not some direct attempt to sabotage members of the royal family. Why don't they do like the Princess Royale and just stand in the mirror and do your hair in like 5 minutes? My goodness. Sophie was spotted leaving a hair salon known to be frequented by Kate Middleton. They need to shut that place down. They need to shut that place down in the interest of public health and well-being. Shut it down. Shut it down. How many women must be maimed and humiliated? How many women are going to have their hair fried, dyed, and laid to the side? Huh? How much more of this tyranny do women have to suffer through before they shutter that place? I say not another one. Not one more innocent woman should be allowed to wander into that butcher shop. that fun house, that what do you call it? That hall of mirrors. Oh. I would never tell anybody that I just left the beauty shop if I was walking around looking like that. I would just keep that to myself. Just say you went to the gym. Because if you say you went to the gym, that would explain why you look so disheveled. But if this was her coronation look, I think they need to start over. Go someplace else. They don't like you there. Which one of these is cousin It from the Addams family? And which one of these is Kate Middleton? Do 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 boom, boom. One of these things are quite like the other. One of these things are just not the same. One of these things are not like the others. Can you name it in a game? Huh? Can you name it? One of these things are quite like the other. One of these things are not like the other. Yep, you can say that again. You can say that again. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the others by the time I finish my song? Did you guess which thing was not like the other? Did you guess which thing just doesn't belong? Did you guess this one is not like the others? Then you're absolutely wrong, right or wrong. Anyway, I can't tell them apart. I have studied this, and I cannot tell them apart. One looks just as frightful as the other, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, one is just as frightful as the other. Oh, well. And this too shall pass. Um, Let me see. Which is cousin It from the Addams family, and which is Kate Middleton? Now, cousin It usually has those dark circles around the eyes. So I still don't know because Kate seems to have dark circles around the eyes. So I don't know which is which. My goodness, it's so easy for her to just kind of melt into the background. But anyway, it seems like Willie and Kitty are working on a new one of those little videos that they like to share. This is going to be their next upload for their social media. So yeah, I I, I guess at some point they're going to share this with their public. But what was her name? Morticia? My goodness. I mean, it's just the similarities are so shocking. As you can see, I've had some fun with this. Now, this is what I wanted to show you earlier. Radar. Radar online. Radar. Radar is just another tabloid. It really is another tabloid. The OG royal renegade inside Queen Elizabeth's little sister Margaret's spoiled, booze-filled life, and why she wouldn't have been anti Meghan despite shared pain with fellow spare Harry. Yeah, why she would have been anti Meghan. Yeah, why she would have been anti Meghan despite her shared pain with Harry. And then over here, domestic divas at war. Pamela Anderson accused of taking a swipe at Meghan after trolls claimed Duchess copied the Playboy icon's cooking show. Or hypocrite Meghan slammed for inviting Chrissy Teigen to her doomed Netflix show after previously canceling model over bullying claims. Meghan canceled her? Meghan canceled her? Jackie Kennedy tried to save Marilyn Monroe. We reveal how the former First Lady stepped in to help the woman accused of having an affair with her husband, JFK. This is what the radar writes about. Secretly divorcing Barack and Michelle Obama issue desperate dating advice to kids as they don't want their children to end up like them. Or Meghan branded heartless and vicious for making brutal move against Kate Middleton, with her precancerous cells, with her renewed Netflix deal. So Meghan, in negotiation, Meghan stopped there. She said, wait. You guys, I really need to do something to go against my sister-in-law. Do you think I can have a Christmas special? Because if I don't have a Christmas special, we have no deal, right? That's what we're supposed to believe, is that Meghan was like, stop the music, stop the music. I need a Christmas special. Kate has a Christmas special. And then lastly, Prince Harry, lonelier than ever, crying, this isn't the life I signed up for, as he continues to be sidelined by wife Meghan, relentless business ambition. Why people bother with this stuff, I don't know. Why they believe it, I don't know. How many times are you going to tell us about Marilyn Monroe and John F. Kennedy? Do you know how much what there is between California and Washington, D.C.? I mean, no offense to Marilyn Monroe, but she was, known by certain people by that point. Not anybody new to the scene. There was a lot of people, ladies in between here and there, but they make it seem like Peter Lawford, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and whoever the other one was, that they just could not stay away from Marilyn Monroe. It was just something about her that just pulled them in, right? They wouldn't let her have time of day to herself. And while they were with her, they told her all kind of secrets too. How many more ways can you tell the same story? If it wasn't a handsome president, if it wasn't a beautiful Hollywood starlet, there would be no story. This is why you know that Meghan is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Because if Meghan was, for lack of a better word, just average, that would eliminate part of the story right there. If Meghan was boring, that would also eliminate part of the story right there. There's a lot of things that if you take this away or take that away, there wouldn't be much of a story. I mean, just imagine if Harry had married a little mouse like Kate Middleton. There wouldn't be much of a story. They wouldn't have much to say about her. They'd only be talking about Harry. But the idea that Meghan has eclipsed Harry, and now Harry is so sad and spending his days moaning to people, this is not what I signed up for. Let me show you a picture of Harry being sad. This is Harry sad. Wow, poor sad Harry. Harry is so sad he's been taken up surfing. That's how sad he is. Poor, pitiful, sad, rejected Harry. He is just moping around the house, not doing much. And of course, say nothing of the fact that he has two beautiful, dynamic children to keep him happy, right? And a wife that he's so proud of. I mean, he has to look in the mirror every day and wonder, how did I make this happen? But leave it to radar. Prince Harry, lonelier than ever and crying, this isn't the life I signed up for. As if they'd give Harry credit for nothing. Harry works very hard. Harry, the founder of Travelers, Harry, co-founder, Ballet, Harry, what is the other one? Oh my goodness. Wasn't there something else he had co-founded? It escapes me right now. But anyway, he's got plenty to do. This guy makes things happen, okay? He has his better up. And of course, they have a production company. They have a production company. They have a group of people that they have what is it, the Parents Network, Scotty's Little Soldiers, Well Child. He's got plenty to keep him busy, as evident by his trip last September, to New York, when he eclipsed his brother, so much so that his brother stayed home. Tell me he ain't got nothing to do. You know, if that troll radar would write about Kate and William Middlebaum, anything they write about would be the truth. Mary H., you must have read my mind, because I actually went to their royal category and I went through it, and there was nothing negative about Will or Kate. Not a thing. Not one word. I looked back for months. Nothing. Not a thing. The only thing they had was Kate is struggling. Kate is still struggling behind closed doors. That's it. They want you to feel sorry for Kate. They want everyone to gather around and lift Kate up and support her. Hold her hand. Exactly. You get the point. They have all this smoke for Meghan, and of course, the Obamas. They wanted so desperately for Pamela Anderson to say something negative about Meghan. Anything that they can run with. And it just didn't happen. It did not happen. So this is why I went through and I started grabbing headlines. I just started grabbing headlines. I didn't read the articles. I just grabbed the headlines. Exclusive. Jackie Kennedy tried to save Marilyn Monroe. I'm so tired of the Marilyn Monroe, Jack Kennedy's stories. This man who wore a what do you call it? A corset. He wore a corset. His back was so bad he nearly died from spinal fusion surgery. They had gave him his last rites. After he had that meeting with, was it Nikita Khrushchev? After they had that meeting, he had to come back to the United States on a stretcher. 1,000 days in office, and all he could think about was Marilyn Monroe. And that, the one that I call the albino assassin, the one that works for the Daily Mail, the one with the bleach blonde hair, she wrote a new book about the Kennedys. as if it hasn't been written about over and over and over again. If she really told the truth, she'd come up missing. You ain't gonna tell the truth. You're gonna just rehash all of those stories, sexy, salacious stories, and never really get to the point. They got nothing on Meghan. Nothing. She has been vetted and vetted and vetted again. And I'm pretty sure at a certain point that they just gave up. They even sent one of those reporters out there to try to find some kind of proof or evidence that the Sussexes were not together. And what did he do? He went back, and this is someone who hates the Sussexes. He said, I couldn't find anything. He said, there was no there. He said, I tried. I think it was that blockhead that's on the Sun or whatever, the one that was stalking them at the Invictus games. He couldn't find anything. They sent that bloated, what's her name? The one that anyway, they sent her out there, all expenses paid. Nothing. They have a British reporter, retired, whatever he is, that's out there. And all he ever says is, I never see her. And nobody likes her. They like Harry, but they don't like her. He said that 4 years ago, 5 years ago. He said that. And he's still saying the same thing. I don't think he's ever crossed her path. And yet he tells the same story. And when they need him, they pull him out. They dust him off. He says what he says, and then he goes back in the cupboard. Waste of time. Yeah. So I have to give it to John F. Kennedy. He accomplished a whole lot in 3+ years with a back. If you ever seen John F. Kennedy's rocking chair, the reason why he had that rocking chair, which he preferred in the Oval Office, is because he wasn't comfortable sitting anyplace else. That's why he had the rocking chair. It was for his back. Some things, and they can't assign it to him. Yeah. Thank you. Was it Shirlene? Thank you very much for that. Yes, Matt Wilkinson. Yeah, Matt Wilkinson. And that the other one, Moore, whatever her name is, Moore. Jan Moore. That's the lady that I was thinking about that went out there snooping around. So that's at least 3 reporters that I can think of that have gone out there to Montecito to get the lowdown, to get the story. Oh, what about the German lady with the German film crew that went out there with a film crew, no less? And all they could do was say, well, this is where they saw Meghan. This is where Meghan had lunch one day. Nothing. They have nothing. They don't even know when they're coming and going. They planned 2 successful foreign tours without the help of the Home Office, without the United States State Department. 2 successful tours. And the palace was none the wiser. They knew nothing about it. And then they sent that one journalist to Colombia, the one who spoke about the, the poverty, the favelas. And what did they think about Meghan and Harry coming to Colombia? He literally tried to get into some of those spaces and was told no. They turned him around. So what did he do? He tried to blame the favelas on Harry and Meghan. Yeah. Decades after decades of poverty and such, they blame that on the Sussexes. And let me tell you something. Not all favelas are equal. Those are some, they are some autonomous zones. And I've heard some nightmarish stories, and I heard a lot of great stories. But for the most part, these are people that have been disenfranchised, and they have been able to successfully carve out a working, functioning neighborhood without input from the government. They have their own way of handling things. So it's not like it appears on television. And what did he do? He went and just put everybody down, lumped them all into one category because he was angry he couldn't get inside of the meeting or whatever. Yeah, I never really paid much attention to radar. Mostly if I ever see something from the radar, it's because this person has died or that person has died. But I didn't know that they were just such a tabloid. I'm still disappointed about Newsweek, a prestigious weekly magazine, which has been hijacked. Newsweek, right on par with the with Time magazine, has been hijacked and turned into a gossip rag. Oh, is there any justice? Is there any justice? Hi, People's Duchess. So it's a scam. Homewards Royal Foundation, a scam, allegedly. It has been alleged that it is all a scam. It's all flimflammery, allegedly. Now, Willie and Kate have been consistent in their refusal to account for any of the funds they receive. These accounts were only given cause they had no choice, but it should come as no surprise to anyone that their foundation is all smoke and mirrors, it has been alleged. Here's the icing on the scam. Oh, on the scam cake. 9.9 million pounds was spent on a bucket they called other charitable activities. This is a bucket often used when charities want to hide a multitude of sins like me, PR expenses that they tag as awareness raising, aka creative accounting, allegedly. And by the way, credit Zandy Sussex for this reporting. The Early Years Project gave grants amounting to a whopping £102,473. Willie's infamous Homewards Project only gave £364,500. Good luck solving homelessness on that PR stunt. An outrageous amount of $5 million was spent on staff costs and the cost of key management personnel who, oh, by the way, let me keep this going here. So an outrageous amount of £5 million was spent on staff costs and the cost of key management personnel who's being paid these exorbitant salaries in a foundation that does nothing. Cut through the BS, and we see that of the 12 million pounds raised, only 1 million was actually given in grants and donations, a pitiful amount they should be ashamed to state publicly. This is less than the 1.6 million spent on fundraising costs. Looking at looking at the latest 2024 officials of Willie and Kate's Royal Foundation, it is a scam, allegedly. It's a charity with zero impact set up to fund self-promoting me activities under the guise of charity. This is a thread breaking down these shameless hoax. So, yes, if you're following Zandy, she has a thread. That's where I got these from, was from her thread that breaks it all down. So, full disclosure, I haven't had an opportunity to examine all of these numbers or to verify them. However, I do trust Zandy to get to the bottom line of things, which is why I quote her so often. The Cambridges, the Welleses, they are very secretive. William won't even say how much he's paying in tax. William will not show any diversity stats. There's a lot of things that William just said, I'm not going to share it with you. I'm not telling you. Even Charles disclosed certain information about his duchies, well, the Duchy of Cornwall. William put a stop to that. William makes up his mind that I'm not going to do it, just like he's not going to be a full-time royal. And when he makes up his mind, we all know that he's very stubborn, and in all likelihood, that's not going to change. Now, the trip to Balmoral, I am going to assume that that was likely to happen anyway, because, I don't think William cares for Scotland at all. But having given the latest reports and everything, I don't think he had a choice but to go. He had to go. He has been warned. Somebody has finally appealed to him, and it wasn't his dad, but he has been warned, that is. He has been shamed into submission, which is why they made such a public spectacle of this trip to Balmoral. Now, remember, William did not go to church on Easter. He didn't go to church on Easter of 2024, which I still say would have been a great way to assure the public that the family is still intact in spite of Kate's precancerous cells and preventative cancer treatments. I think it would have been an excellent idea to take the children and himself to church. They did not do it. There's a lot of things that William just refused to do. And when he's king, that is not likely to change. He has drawn a line in the sand that there are certain things that he's just not going to bother with. So the bread and butter, as the Princess Royale says, that he needs to do more of the bread and butter type of royal duty. Never. That is not going to happen. I would be shocked if William wears a kilt while in Balmoral. I will be shocked. He refuses to do it. His father, as Prince of Wales and now King Charles III, wears a kilt in Scotland. His grandfather, Prince Philip, wore a kilt. I don't think that William has worn a kilt since he was a teenager. He just refuses to do it. So it'd be interesting to see if and when that ever happens. And I know I mentioned this a lot, but it really is important to his future, not mine, to his future, to the future of the monarchy. I'm just amazed at how stubborn he is. And I'm somewhat pleased because I don't care for him as a person. I don't hate him, but I don't care for him as a person. And seeing his decline over time in the public's opinion pleases me. It will please me greatly. Oh, you want to see that again? Would you like to see that again? That's no problem. Let me see. Where is she? There you go. I think it looks good on her. Yeah, it's a nice change. I mean, if she just wants to change something, it's a nice change. Blonde hair doesn't really suit her though. I would go with something darker, but it's really not her color. Doesn't seem to work for her. So let's do this one again, shall we? Let's do this one again. I rather fancy this one. I can grab some peroxide, dump it all in my hair. I'm gonna scare my children, and I really don't care. Okay, let's do that one again. Where is she? Dr. Tessa Dunlap.
If you pull the lens back a bit, you'll remember those years of work, I will, etc. We got through there.
Okay. I want to raise the quality of the sound.
I do think if you pull the lens back.
How come that is not working? All right. That's what I needed to hear.
I do think if you pull the lens back a bit, you'll remember those years of work, I will, etc. We got through them. They're an incredibly impressive couple, greater than the sum of their parts, particularly when it comes to William. One of the key problems is with the departure of the Sussexes, and I think as humans, we all need this. We all need someone to push off, to compete with in a healthy way. You remove any kind of competition. And at the same time, the predominantly right-wing press have pushed William and Kate up on this incredible untouchable pedestal. So really, I think, to an extent, understandably, he pretty much feels he can do what he likes. We've made him untouchable in some.
He feels that he can do whatever he likes. And so far, he hasn't been wrong. He is rewarded for poor performance. He has been rewarded for poor performance. Rewarded. Again and again. Oh, she looks 50 with whatever hair. Whatever hair she has, she looks 50. Oh, you know what? I just kind of threw this in here. North Carolina woman yanks the hair of young pickpocket. Attentioners, pickpocket. Attentioners, pickpocket. There's a pickpocket in Venice, it says here, Italy, causing the suspected thief to have a screaming meltdown. The mother of 8 tracked down the suspect by using the Find My app to locate the missing AirPods and her passport. I'll let you hear what she had to say to her. But I'm glad she caught her, and I'm glad she was dealt with. You're gonna hear her let out a horrific scream, but here goes. Oh, where did that go?
You stole my purse with my passport.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one speaking. That's right. Let's get the police and maybe I'll get my passport back. This car. I don't even care if you keep my purse. I don't even care if you keep my purse. Thank you, sir.
Did you hear her say, little girl, I got 8 kids. You're not getting away from me. I got 8 kids. You are not getting away from me. Right before the girls were arrested, one of them smacked the mom with a purse which had a metal water bottle in it. So my mom had a massive gash on her head and it was bleeding everywhere. She got a black eye from it, and the girls were arrested. And then my mom had to go to the hospital and get some stitches. The mother's daughter, Karis McElroy, said the mom the mom ended up getting her passport and credit cards back. This woman is a beast. Yeah, mom was not having it. But, you know, it's rare that the pickpockets get violent, but apparently smacking someone in the head with a purse with a metal water bottle in it could definitely cause some damage. But mom said, little girl, I got 8 kids. You are not getting away from me. Oh, thank you, Joy Moore. I appreciate it. You're not getting away from me. So if you go to Europe, usually most crimes are not violent, but pickpocketing is a time-honored tradition among certain people in society. And also lately, grabbing mobile phones, especially in London, has been a big thing. There's like viral videos of people grabbing the cell phones in London. So just be careful. It really is a setback for what's otherwise an idyllic holiday can turn into a nightmare because you've lost this or you lost that. I cannot stress this enough. Do not concern yourself with hurting someone's feelings. Keep your bag with you. When I sit at a table, I don't just discard my backpack to the ground. I usually have it between my feet, and at least one of the straps is pulled over my knee. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care who doesn't like it. When I ride the train, I usually have my backpack beside me, you know, or if someone needs to sit down, they can. But either way, I put my arm through it and I twist my arm around. Now, if you think you're drawing attention to yourself, they're going to think you have something that is valuable. Well, imagine not drawing attention to yourself and you still get robbed. Do not concern yourself with hurting people's feelings. Only you are responsible for your luggage. Only you are responsible for your bag. Got it? Do not worry about hurting somebody's feelings. Your passport, your medication, your phone, maybe an expensive camera, gone. Don't let that happen to you. Now, I don't know what happened to mom, but I tell you what, it won't happen again. And if you don't have a Bluetooth, get a Bluetooth. When you need to make a phone call, step back, put your back to the wall. If you need to search something, step back, put your back to the wall. Look down at your phone. curl your fingers around it, right? Now, I'm not telling you to fight for it, but curl your fingers around it. Keep looking left and right. If somebody approaches, put your phone in your pocket. Take it back out again. Look that person in the eye if you have to. But it's a nightmare to be on the road and have to replace things. So take your time. Know your surroundings. Don't be so excited that you just forget where you are. And it's always the people that you don't suspect. I saw a video of a guy sitting at a outdoor cafe. I think it was in California somewhere. And he just kind of looked like this young, white, possibly gay young man with a big empty shopping bag. And he sat down right behind these women. Like I said, not the ones you usually suspect. Sometimes they wear a suit. They look like they're going to a business meeting. And you can see right there on camera, he took her backpack and stuck it inside of the shopping bag. And what bothered me is that a couple of people were walking up the street and they just wouldn't concern themselves with it. They saw him. You could see him look at him. They looked at each other and said something, and they kept walking. They didn't want to be a part of it. Yeah, you can get a burner phone. Perfectly all right to do. Get a burner phone if you must. But even that, be mindful of it. Be very mindful of it. So anyway, that is my public service message. Take your time and do not worry about offending people. Otherwise, you might be the next one clutching some girl by her ponytail. I like Mom, though. I feel like I could hang out with Mom. She's cool people. Well, the Sun, the Daily Mail, may they all rest at the bottom of the sea next to the Titanic. May they all go down. May they all sink into the abyss. I'm going to end tonight with this thing. I'm almost done, you guys. Daily Mail owner calls for a crackdown on Google AI after traffic tanks. The Daily Mail Group media warns search traffic has fallen by as much as 89%. You know what that means, don't you? Now, I'm just going to take a guess. But I think it's because when you would search for things before, far too often, Daily Mail would be the first thing to pop up. And now, if my math is right, there's an 89% chance that it's not going to pop up. And if they don't have traffic, they don't have people looking at their ads. And if they're not selling ads, then they're asking people to get a subscription, as though they're on 1,000 other news things out there. So, what are you going to do? Oh, and by the way, in case you don't know who the owner is, it is Lord Nappyhead. Lord Nappyhead, the racially ambiguous owner of the Daily Mail Group and the Mail on Sunday. That Lord Nappyhead. Yes, the racially ambiguous owner of the Daily Mail. A man who looks like he has gone through the Tom Jones School of Ethnicity. Yes, that Lord Nappyhead. And of course, his father, he inherited the Daily Mail from his father, also known as the Daily Fail. Lord Nappyhead. So, The owner of the let me see. The owner of the is there something missing there? Has called the owner of the something has called for crackdown on Google's artificial intelligence after warning that early tests of the technology in search were causing web traffic to crater. The Daily Mail Group Media has written to the Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, saying that the search giant AI overviews were leading readership from Google searches to fall by, I'm leading to, okay, that looks so weird to me, to fall by as much as 89%. The publisher, which also owns the iPaper, Metro, and New Scientist, has called for the competition watchdog to extend its proposed regulations for the company to its Gemini chatbot and the Google News service. Google has disrupted many web publishers' business model in recent months by introducing AI Overview, in which answers generated by the company's artificial intelligence system did that cut off? System companies. Anyway, artificial intelligence system features at the top of the search results, and it does. Web business are concerned that this will reduce the number of people clicking the list of links the company is best known for. They fear that the downturn will accelerate with the release of Google's new AI mode, which provides a much longer answer with less prominent links. So, in other words, people get to the AI, read the answer, and stop. You know how I said go and find at least 3 other sources so that way you can get a more accurate, more expanded view? Most people aren't doing that. Most people believe AI and that's it. In a submission to the CMA, DMG said that the click-through rate, the number of Google searches that result in someone visiting the Mail website, fell from 25.2% on a regular desktop searches to 2.8% when a user sees and searches to something that's cut off here, 28% when the user sees an AI overview, an 89% drop. The drop was 87% for mobile searches. Google said that the CMA's action creates substantial uncertainty that hangs over our search business and necessarily weighs on decision concerning our UK operation. Well, let me just say this for Google. Let me say this for Google. Are y'all listening? I want to say this for Google. Good. Good. I prefer it. Good. Then that means that there is so much less of the Daily Mail's vitriolic bile-filled reports that will reach the average consumer, the average reader. And I'm glad for that. I am so glad for that. Fortunes are fading for these tabloids. One of the reasons why is the reason that's right in front of you. Instead of searching this and searching that, you're on Royal Sussex. There's so many other sources. There's TikTok. There's so many more people on YouTube. And every day, somebody's starting a new channel, a new account, a new something. There's Substack. Substack. I wonder how Substack is. Now, I've never looked at Substack, but I hear that there's a lot of good information and a lot of bad information there. And of course, there's the what is that? Blue something, Sky Blue, Blue Search, whatever that competition is for TikTok. So people have options now. They have so many more options, should I say. They've always had options, but there are so many more options. Why would you stop with the Daily Fail? Blue Sky, that's it, Blue Sky. Why stop at Daily Mail? Most people get their news from a content creator, not the old, what do you call it? The old legacy news media. So they are losing a lot of money. They're losing a lot of readers. This is why Daily Mail wants people to get subscriptions, because they're trying to convince you that you need them, that you're not going to get that information anyplace else. Your daily dose of negativity, your panics, your worries, your anxiety inducing information from the Daily Mail may slowly fade into the abyss. So Lord Nappyhead, among others, then got a bit nervous. I never thought of it because I tend to, still look further down into the search because I don't accept everything that AI says. But the thing is, AI, at least the Google AI, and so many people are dependent on Google, even though Google is starting to lose ground, which is why Google is jumping into this AI bandwagon. Because if they don't, but Google is not going to be as big this time next year as it is right now. And then 2 years after that is still not going to be as big, because the good old fashioned search engine that Google has been, crushing for years, they're losing to other sources, to other searches. So at some point, not everything is going to go through Google. But you know how it is, you come and you go. But if Google is smart, they'll be working very hard to make sure that they come out on top, that they get a bigger piece of the pie. Yeah, they're not going to Rupert Murdoch their way out of this. Globalism also hurts them. We can get the news just as fast, if not better than them. We can also check them in real time. Exactly. I'm glad. Anyway, you guys, I'm done for tonight. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all being here. I'm going to stick around for about another 5 minutes. And then I'm going to say goodnight for show. For show. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that Lord Nappyhead is in a panic. I'm so glad. Good night, creative life. That pleases me that Lord Nappyhead is in a bit of a panic. And that article was in the Telegraph. Daily Mail owner calls for crackdown on Google AI after traffic tanks. Media traffic search, warns search traffic has fallen by as much as 89%. Lord Nappyhead, I decided to search that to see who comes up. He's not there. Yeah, he's not there. I guess I'm the only person that calls him that. Racially ambiguous Daily Mail owner. And he's still not there. There's a lot of other mixed race people, but not him. Probably because he hasn't officially declared himself mixed race. Oh, well, I don't care for him. I don't care for his paper. Because of my work, I find myself depending upon his paper, but oh yeah, I forgot who said that. I forgot who said that. Mum's the word. Let me see. Oh, they're going to keep showing these pictures of them on their way to church. They're going to get quite a few articles out of that one trip to church. You know, it really does make sense that they're more desperate than ever because they have been scraping the bottom of the barrel time and time again to just put some kind of story out there, rehashing the same things more frequently. I mean, they've always done that, but they rehash the same stories even more frequently than before. So many things happened on Harry and Meghan's wedding day, things that even they didn't see. Good night, Simon Black. Oh, you're shopping for a wine stopper. Nice. I usually just put the cork back in the bottle. I think I flip it upside down and put it in the other way because it seems that the cork is more narrow at the top than it is at the bottom. But I do have a few of those stoppers, and I tend to just put the cork back in, especially if I don't rip the cork apart. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. Oh, it has been 2 hours. All right, you guys, love you. Good night. I'll see you next time.